Hi everyone, I'm Damon Seils, a member of the Town Council here in Carrboro, North Carolina. I'm glad to be joining you for this countdown event to share some information about the kinds of things the town of Carrboro is doing related to climate action, and to encourage you to get involved here on the local level. So rather than try to cover every facet of the town's work on climate change, I want to touch on three areas I think are especially important. Those three areas are implementing Carrboro's climate action plans, improving local and regional public transportation, and developing a comprehensive land use plan for Carrboro. But before I touch on those efforts, let me just say how important it is that we view our collective work on climate action through an environmental justice lens. Now, what do I mean by that? We want our work to achieve a fair distribution of environmental benefits and risks, and we want our decision-making and priority setting to be grounded in meaningful involvement by the communities that bear the greatest burdens of climate change, especially communities of color and other historically marginalized and underserved people. Climate action should be grounded in climate justice. So I mentioned the three areas I want to touch on. First, Carrboro's climate action plans. We actually have two of them. The first deals with the town's municipal operations, things like our town buildings and other public facilities, the town's vehicle fleet, street lights all around us. There is important work going on here, but we know the town's municipal operations account for a very small percentage of our community's overall greenhouse gas emissions. So our other plan is what we call our Community Climate Action Plan. This plan commits the community to a goal of reducing per capita greenhouse gas emissions by half over the next several years. The plan's recommendations are wide-ranging, from energy efficiency to transportation to ecosystem protection to food systems. The plan also connects those themes to other local benefits like financial savings from energy efficiency and the creation of new jobs and improved public health. Recently, the Town Council created a volunteer advisory board to help steer the implementation of the Community Climate Action Plan. I hope those of you who live in Carrboro will help us spread the word that we need volunteers on this advisory board. We're especially eager to include parts of the community that have tended to be left out of these conversations. As I said earlier, we want to center the experiences and voices of our neighbors who have the most to gain from climate action if we do it right, and the most to lose if we do it wrong. So please visit the town's website at townofcarrboro.org, and you'll learn more there about the Community Climate Action Plan. The second area I want to highlight is public transit. In North Carolina and throughout the country, transportation is a leading and growing source of greenhouse gas emissions. I believe public transit and transit-oriented development are critical components of reversing this trend. Carrboro's contribution to the local Chapel Hill Transit Partnership is the largest single item in our annual operating budget. Our investment in our transit system is really important to us. This year we rolled out our much anticipated short-range transit plan, and even with the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, that transit plan has brought us 7-day-a-week bus service and higher frequency service throughout Carrboro and Chapel Hill. The goals of that plan are to meet the needs of community members who depend on public transit, to increase ridership, and to make a real shift in the choices people make about moving around. I also want to highlight for you the current initiative to update the Orange County Transit Plan. We need your help to update this plan so we can continue improving transit options throughout the county and make stronger transit connections with other parts of the Triangle region. So please visit the project website at octransit2020.com. That's octransit2020.com. You can take a survey there and learn about other ways to help update the Orange County Transit Plan. Finally, the third area I want to touch on is the Carrboro Comprehensive Plan. We're kicking off a comprehensive plan in Carrboro, and an important part of that plan, I hope, will include updates to our zoning and land use policies to promote more compact, more walkable, more transit-oriented styles of development. As I said earlier, I believe transit and transit-oriented development are important strategies for reducing the use of unsustainable modes of transportation. So even as we address the immediate challenges of climate change, we need to be planning for a Carrboro of 20, 30, 50 years from now that's friendlier to pedestrians, cyclists, and transit users, that's more sustainable, and that has less harmful impacts on the environment. Town Council recently appointed a steering committee for the comprehensive plan. It's a great diverse group of volunteers from all over Carrboro who will help us move this plan in the right direction. And we need your help. So again, please visit the town's website at townofcarrboro.org to learn more about the Carrboro Comprehensive Plan and how you can make it a success. So there you have it, the Community Climate Action Plan, the Orange County Transit Plan, and the Carrboro Comprehensive Plan. I hope I've offered you some useful information about how we're approaching climate change and environmental sustainability here in Carrboro, or at least how I'm approaching it. And I hope you have a sense of some ways you can get involved. Please get in touch with me if you have any questions. You can find me on all the usual social media platforms and on the Town of Carrboro website. I'm Damon Seils, member of the Carrboro Town Council, and I thank you for joining this countdown.